Hey folks, this is Matt once again, and as you can tell, since I saw Skyfall, wanted to see another movie, so I finally got to see Alex Cross. Now, Alex Cross is a film based on the James Patterson novels. Kind of a prequel, it's kind of a reboot, because the Alex Cross character had been played by Morgan Freeman in Kiss the Girls and in Along Came a Spider. Films that I liked. I enjoyed those films. So this film, I know at one point, I guess in 2010, there was talk of doing an Alex Cross film with David Twohy. I think it's the guy who directed Pitch Black and The Arrival, and Idris Elba starring. Things didn't work out, and then they had Rob Cohen directing. Rob Cohen's done Dragging the Bruce Lee Story, Daylight, which is a favorite of mine, and the Fast and the Furious, Triple X with Vin Diesel, and they have Tyler Perry starring as Alex Cross, who at this point he's a detective in I think Detroit. He's partnered with a guy played by Edward Burns, which I like Edward Burns. He's been in films like 15 Minutes, A Sound of Thunder, which that's like a time waster, but it has a lot of problems. It's not a good movie. It could have been a contender for a good movie. And them chasing down this killer played by Matthew Fox is a guy who rapes and tortures women. He has some kind of objective, which I'm not going to give too much away because I want people to give it a look. And he does like this thing where he injects something to people so they can't do anything, but they're still aware. And Alex Cross and Edward Burns has to go chase this killer. And this film got shit on. I mean, it got shit on and 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 shit on. Then you got shit on, 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 shit on. Then you got shit on, 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 shit on. And then you got shit on and on and shit, shit, shit on and shit, shit on. So we got a bunch of shit on it. I mean, I look on this. A 12% on Rotten Tomatoes? Really? Fucking VHS, very horrible shit of an anthology film. That gets a 51%, but this gets a 12% on Rotten Tomatoes? And a 4.8 on IMDb? A 4.8? Fucking the Total Recall remake gets a 6.3, which that has Zelch and I think about that movie, my tongue literally paralyzes in fear of being as bored as I was during watching that fucking movie. Most generic action film I've seen in a long time. And that gets a 6.3, made like 200 million worldwide. And this film not only did it bomb, it gets a 4.8. Fucking VHS got a 5.8. And I don't get it. I saw the film. I have some teeny tiny issues. But overall, it was a good movie. It was entertaining. It was fast paced. They kind of made it their own. It was a little bit more of an action movie, while Morgan Freeman's films are more of a thriller. This is more of an action film. I was fine with that. Remember, what's so bad about this? I like the ideas that were going on. I have to give some little stuff away. Hell, this is spoiler warning. Spoiler warning. Fuck. What's to stop from being spoilers? Usually I have a damn hat. Okay, this being spoiled. When this is not up, when this is up, there's spoilers. Okay, so because people get pissed. So spoilers. There's parts I like in the film. For instance, when the bad guy is torturing this girl, not only does he cut off her fingers, but then he takes this thing and like burns them so that no loss of blood. Yes, it's PG-13, but I thought it was utilized pretty decently. Could have had an R rating, sure, but the PG-13 in this instance was fine. Kiss the Girls or A Long Time Spy. I don't know if those films were rated R. If they were, they weren't really hard R films. Other moments, I really like the moment where a scene, Matthew Fox's character gets on a train, and you think it's going one way, but what he does is the train keeps moving, but he opens the doors and he puts a fucking bazooka, sets up like a bazooka, so as the train passes where he needs to be, he fires it, blows up this entire, almost like huge fucking explosion. He's able to keep on going. The train keeps on moving. Or he gets into this facility through the water, through like this tube that goes into the building where they have like, and sometimes like hotels and stuff, they have like little waterfalls, stuff like that. And he able to sneak in through there. And, you have interesting moments like that. And you have Tyler Perry. A lot of people say, oh, Tyler Perry. I'm not a fan of Medea. I'm not a fan of Medea. I'm not a fan of any of that shit where someone dresses as a woman. Mrs. Doubtfire, I liked it when I was a kid. I can't really watch that film now because I don't think it's aged well for me. Night Professor shit, that's why I think it's shit. It's definitely not Eddie Murphy at his prime. At his prime is his wit, his voice, not wearing women's clothes or playing different characters in makeup. Martin Lawrence at Big Mama's House, I'm not a fan of those movies. Just not a fan. And Medea, same thing. But in this film, I thought Tyler Perry did his job. He did his work. And he was good. What was so bad about Tyler Perry? He sold it. He sold his moments with Edward Burns. He got the fact that they were friends for a long time. He sold his intensity. Like the moment where you see bits in the trailer where the grandma of the family, I think it's Cicely Tyson, is an actress who's been in a lot of stuff. I think Bustin' Loose with Richard Pryor. She's like, you can't do this. You sort of that speech of you don't become like him, and what you don't say to your kids when you look them in the eye. And he does his speech like, he's not going to stop, and I'd rather meet him at the gates of hell before letting another member of my family get hurt or killed. Or I don't remember the lines verbatim because I've only seen the film once. But this is a film I would gladly get on DVD. This is a film that will be in my top 10. Who knows, maybe in my top 5 of 2012. Because not only do I think it's criminally underrated, but I don't get what the fuck the big deal. Tyler, this is almost like the fucking Danny Glover shit in Predator 2. Granted, Predator 2 and Danny Glover, they're up here. I mean, for me, they're up here. I still don't understand why people hate Predator 2. I still don't understand why people hate Danny Glover. Explain it to me. Be my guest. I'm not saying this is as good as Predator 2. I'm not saying that in the least. I'm just saying it's the fact that like, we don't buy him. I'm like, he did a good job. I give credit to the guy. I'm not going to give credit to fucking Christian Bale going, or Timothy Olyphant's asshole gritting through his teeth. He's trying to play Hitman or some other fucking shit. Hell, Matthew Fox, he looked like the guy from fucking Hitman. He was bald and he had a suit. You put a fucking barcode on the back of him, Matthew Fox for the Hitman. And he was a great villain. But you met Tyler Perry, he was not that bad. He was pretty damn good. He sold his dramatic scenes well. He surprised me. I thought he did really good. So, boom, a hero that I liked. Cool. Good acting. Edward Burns, he does fine in the supporting role. John C. McGinley is a character actor. He's in there for a little bit. So is John Renault. He's a good actor. He's in there for a teeny bit. Matthew Fox is a bad guy. Great bad guy. He kind of almost looks like the Hitman video game guy. Agent, forget the number, 47 or something like that. I haven't played the Hitman games that much. I know the movie sucked. But, hell, Matthew Fox would have been a better Hitman. Or Vin Diesel or whoever. But, like, he was crazy. He was nuts. He had the right voice for it. He had creepy eyes with what he did. He gave a really solid performance. He was a good psycho. You bought this guy was psychotic, and he was smart, and the stuff that he did was pretty interesting. It's not the same old, same old. It's like, okay, I haven't seen that like that before. I haven't seen that like that before, which is good in a movie. It went at a fast pace. It didn't. It wasn't slow. It didn't fucking dawdle on and on for 20 minutes of dialogue that leads nothing to the plot or nothing to anything. Uh, and then there's a certain moment where basically Tyler Perry has to get ready because something happens, and Tyler Perry and Edward Burns have to sort of arm up and get ready, and that was a good scene. It's like, yes, you're rooting for them. You want them to catch this cycle. It's a cycle you really hate, and good guys you really care for. That's kind of why I see movies. I thought that was the point of watching movies. And the plot doesn't make sense. Which part? A psycho hitman doing shit? Someone hired him? You find out at the end why? Loose ends and shit? Not that hard to understand. Yeah, I nitpick a lot of movies. You wanna know why? When I watch a movie, I look at the final stretch. Was it entertaining? If it's a horror film, did it scare me? If it's an action film, did it thrill me? If it's a superhero film, was it adrenaline pumping? Was it entertaining? If it's a comedy, did it make me laugh? If it didn't, then fuck that movie. Fuck it his ass. Handcuff its dick to his ass and go fuck itself. Okay? It can eat my butt if that movie can't do its job. And then I'll nitpick the shit out of it, because I'm like, fuck this movie, I don't respect it, I don't like it, why should I be kind and fair to it? Fuck it, it didn't do its primary job, it didn't entertain me, or it didn't thrill me, or it didn't make me laugh, or it didn't make me cry, unless it was so shitty, it's like, oh please let it stop. It's like pulling my fucking foreskin off. You have to have a movie that does its primary job, and I thought this did. It went at a fast pace, gave me a good hero, a good villain, it was entertaining. The slight issue I had was a little bit too much shaky cam. I will admit, a little bit too much shaky cam, particularly the end fight between Tyler Perry and Matthew Fox. I liked what happened during the fight, but a little bit too much of shaky cam. That would be my one fix. Okay, less shaky cam, don't shaky cam the end fight. But I liked what happened at the end. I thought it was a good comeuppance for the bad guy. I liked the movie ended on a good note. The score was decent. Uh, some fun banter between Tyler Perry and Edward Norton. I keep saying Edward Norton. Edward Burns. So if I said Edward Norton before, that's not what... Sorry. It's Edward Burns. I don't know why I keep thinking Edward Norton. But Edward Burns and... again, sorry. I probably messed up before, so if you put in the comments, I already caught it, okay? But this film got shafted. It got it bombed. I know they were hoping to have a new franchise. That's not going to happen. Every critic in the book pretty much fucking hated it. And then someone goes, well, there's a reason for that. There's a reason why everyone hated it. No, there's not. Because you know what? Everyone hated fucking Blade Runner and John Carpenter's Thing when it came out. Oh, you put it on that? No. But it goes to show you, the public sometimes is full of shit. And critics are sometimes full of shit. Yeah, this is the same public that gives death threats to critics because they didn't kiss The Dark Knight Rises ass on both cheeks. That's what the public does. I'm not condemning anyone for not liking movies, or I'm not oh, you didn't like it, you suck. I'm not saying that. But if you don't give me that argument of, well, there must be a reason why they didn't like it. No, there's not. You think the public's that smart? Have you been keeping up with current events, pal? Because you really think that you haven't been keeping up with current events. This is the same public that said Sinister is the fucking scariest movie in a long time. And I'm not making fun of anyone who thinks that. Because at the end of the day, it's based on your personal choice. What do you like? What do you not like? Fuck everything and everybody else. Just no one's going to change your mind. Just like no one's going to change my mind. If I think Sinister sucks, you don't have to agree. There are people who love it. That's fine. Doesn't matter what I say. Doesn't matter what he or she says. Just be honest and say it. Like, I can be honest and say Sinister sucked ass. It was boring. It was mediocre. It was a bunch of jump scares I saw in a dozen Japanese horror films and the remakes, like The Ring and The Grudge and Dark Water and Dark This and Bot That and Killer Cell Phones and all that shit. Killer Eye, The Eye. Anyway, I'm off topic. But I really enjoyed Alice Cross. I thought it was good. Oh well. What more can I say? I may be one of the few, but it's still my opinion, and I'm not going to change it. So, fuck you.